Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Weight broke the Terence Crawford wagon down. Too much weight on the wagon and the wagon will collapse. And when I talk about weight in this instance, I'm talking about waiting around for a fight. For years, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence were talking about fighting. And Errol Spence held up that fight from happening. Errol Spence, PBC. Now, I understand the politics of boxing, I get it, but this is what I'm talking about. Crawford finally got away from Top Rank, and he still had to wait to make that fight with Errol Spence. And then what we found out is that it wasn't Errol Spence initially, he was listening to his team, which is what he's supposed to do, but they did not want to budge in negotiations. They didn't want to give Crawford things he was asking for. And it just really delayed that fight. Too long. So then, unfortunately, Errol Spence, and this is all in a nutshell, right? Errol Spence had to come basically, he and Crawford decided they were going to have a conversation themselves. And when they talked, there were some things that they both realized. And I said this in another video. I truly believe there were things that Errol Spence did not know that were being said and discussed. And I think there were things Crawford didn't know. And when the two of them came together, they had the aha moment. Like, are you kidding me? Is this what was said? I didn't say that. Is this what you said you wanted? Oh, I didn't say that. And I think that's how the two of them were able to come together and make that fight. Because if you would have let those guys behind the scenes, the secret society, if you would have let them stay involved, this fight would have never happened. And that's why Crawford, at the end of the day, he has a lot of respect for Spence. Because Crawford knows he would have never made the kind of money he made ever in boxing in one fight had Spence not budged and went against the grain with his own promotional label. And now you see where we are now. But this is the problem. They made Crawford wait a long time, right? It's the truth. Some people want to point the blame at Crawford. So, no, it was Crawford. He was over on the wrong side of the street. Okay, that's stupid. Oh, no, it was Crawford. He went and fought a Venetian. Well, you got to stay active, right? Now look at the situation Crawford's in again. He's being forced to wait again. So he should find another Venetian to fight. Crawford did this. Crawford fought a Venetian to stay busy. They're like, oh, he was talking to other people. That's what you're supposed to do, stupid. That's smart. Shit, got 2 or 3 fights potentially lined up if this one doesn't come off at this particular date. Because I got to stay active. And he did what he had to do. Now, I don't know if he made all that money on BLK Prime that said he was going to make, but the bottom line is he fought and he made some money. So now he's here. He got the Errol Spence fight after. And now here it is 6 months going on 7 months. No activity. Again, waiting on Errol Spence, PBC. The wagon broke down, people. Now it looks like Crawford and Errol Spence, that fight's off. The rematch, Crawford may retire. But if somehow they can rekindle the flame to get the rematch going, Crawford needs to take another Venetian fight to stay busy. He can't afford to be going out here being inactive. Now, if Crawford chooses to walk away from the sport, hey, maybe he got that pajama syndrome. Maybe Crawford like, shit, this man ain't acting right. I'm okay with that because deep down, I want to retire and just chill out anyway. Family's good. The next few generations are good to go. But deep down, I don't think that's the case. I think we're going to see Crawford go out here and pick up an Venetian fight and try to push for a huge fight against. They're really, look, for the money he thinks he can make as a 2-time undisputed with everything he's done in boxing. Outside of Errol Spence or getting over there in Saudi Arabia and then bringing him over there, and he would have to fight a big name. They're just not going to bring, I don't think they would just bring Boot Sinnis over and give Boot Sinnis, $10 million to fight Crawford, $5 million. I just don't think that would happen. Boot Sinnis is a big name. Thurman may be able to pull it off, but he's inactive. They may look at that too. really it's Crawford and Canelo. That's the kind of fight the Saudis want to put on. I'm telling you right now, like that, they would be all over that. That's where Crawford could get his 100 million, 50 million. But, Canelo has, I think, one more fight. He fought Jamel. He has 2 more fights. So Canelo's got he still got things to do over there with PBC. So Crawford, really, I don't think he can get that fight with Canelo over there in the desert. So I don't know what Crawford. I think maybe Tim's doing Australia, but I don't know. But the bottom line is he can't afford to sit around here waiting. And anyone out here who, if you're a Spence fan, look, Spence is a great fighter, but how would you feel right now if Crawford was coming out talking about all these things and Errol Spence is ready to go, but he's got to wait? You see what I'm saying? Weight broke the wagon. That broke the Terence Crawford wagon down. He ain't got time, man. He got to sit there and get that wagon back on the road. He got to take some of that dead weight off and throw it out the wagon. Or like I like to say, cut the fat. You know what I'm saying? He's got to do something. Crawford's not 20 years old, 25. Crawford probably should have retired already. But he's athletic, naturally gifted. That's why that man can keep plugging along at age 37, about to be 38 or something like that. What's he, 36, 37? Something crazy? He's 36. So, nonetheless, man, 40 wins, 31 KOs, no losses. The man standing about 5'8", 5'9", 74, 75-inch reach. Turned pro in 2008. I mean, come on now, people, man. 15 years fighting. 15 years fighting. And y'all want him to waste. It's going on a year. 15 years, right? How many years of inactivity? How many? And when I say inactivity, it means he's fighting once a year. Okay? Check this out. So I'll stop at 2019. He fought in April and December. 2020, he fought in November. 2021, he fought in November. 2022, he fought in December. 2023, he fought in July. And he hasn't fought since then. So you see, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4 fights in 4 years. Where really he should be fighting 2, 3 times. It should be more like 12 fights. Or at least 8 fights. 4 fights in 4 years. What's he supposed to do? How y'all can get mad at a man that, and if he wouldn't have fought a Vanessian, he would have only had 3 fights in 4 years. So y'all want him to continue down that path? No fighter should continue down that path. Not even Errol Spence. I mean, unless you got, injuries or something wrong with you. But other than that, he should be in the ring a couple times. But I understand people want to blame PBC and Al Heyman and obviously the things going on over there at Showtime, but that's still sick. That's ridiculous. So anyway, man, Crawford can't afford to wait. He's sitting around here waiting, and it's a bit ridiculous at this point for a man to be about to turn 37, fighting over 15 years, for y'all to expect this man to be out the ring waiting over a year. He about to hit. I mean, what's he gonna go to the 16th year, and have a 2-year period of inactivity going into his 16th year? Is that what y'all want? That's crazy to me, man. But anyway, man, yo, good luck to Spence and Crawford. But Crawford, he's doing the right thing. It sounds like him and Spence are off, and the contract get nullified and avoided. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they fight, maybe they don't. But hopefully Crawford can get him a fight with just about anyone to stay busy. If, in fact, somehow they're going to breathe life back into the rematch with Spence. But I don't know. But the bottom line is, you can't blame Crawford for trying to move away from this rematch, because Errol Spence and all the stuff that he's talked about, the injuries, the surgeries, and the fact that now he won't be ready and Crawford being forced to wait again. He doesn't have time like that on this side. The man said 2 to 3 fights. A whole year down, that's 1 or 2 fights that he could have had already before going into retirement. So now you're pushing his planned retirement date out too. That shit ain't fair. That's not. So Crawford's like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm good now. It's over. And I tell you what, if Crawford was to retire, I bet you people start calling him out then. And I ain't talking about boot sitters. I'm talking about people that call him out there. He may need to retire. Like Mayweather did. Then increase the demand for him again, then come back, then get the money he wants. He may have to try to work the system like that. But long story short, man, when it comes to Errol Spence, man, look, the weight broke the Terence Crawford wagon down. And he's got to get that wagon up and running. And the only way he can do that is move away from the dead weight. And I think Errol Spence right now is that dead weight. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.